Hello everyone! Val'sharah opened up on the Legion Alpha servers, and I thought it would be a good idea to sit down and talk about the main story of the zone. For those that want to see everything the zone has to offer, tomorrow I'll upload the full playthrough, so you can see some of the details I won't be talking about today. And then later this week I'll upload a video discussing the major second story in the zone about two characters that I'm not gonna spoil right now. Speaking of spoilers, as described in the title and the description, this video will be about Legion Alpha, so spoilers ahead. If you don't want any spoilers, then let me just say thank you very much for watching so far, and please turn off the video right now. Let's begin, shall we? Val'sharah, a druid paradise. This is the place where Malfurion Stormrage was trained by the demigod Cenarius in the ways of the Druids, and were sent in to retrieve an artifact called the Tears of Elune. These tears are needed to seal the tomb of Sargeras and stop the Legion invasion. So together with Malfurion, we go into the zone to call upon Cenarius and find out where they're safeguarding the tears. The first Druids have molded this area to be a reflection of the Emerald Dream, yet as we reach the Grove Cenarius, we find out that not everything is so perfect. Cenarius is paralyzed on the ground, being corrupted, and we need the aid of the Archdruids to help him out. We're sent to the Archdruid of Lore, Elover, and after assisting him with taking out some of the Harpies and curing his elder disciples, he joins us at the Grove of Cenarius. We're sent to Coda Steelclaw, Archdruid of the Claw, but in order to reach her slumbering body within the Barrow Dens, we'll first have to go through the aggressive furbolgs in the area. They have been corrupted, so we take them out, as well as helping out Elder Sook by saving his nephew and appointing him as the new tribe leader. With that done, we make our way into the den and we wake up Coda.
The dream was clouded with such darkness.
The Barrow Den is under assault by dark magic, so it's up to us to clear out the invaders, wake up the fellow druids of our clan, and take out the satyr called Morpheal, who is the source behind the dark magic. With that done, Coda Steelclaw joins us at the Grove of Cenarius. The final Archdruid is the Archdruid of the Vale, Theon Moonclaw, and of course, he's dealing with his own problems. After the War of the Ancients, they rounded up all the satyrs, and Theon wanted to execute them on the spot. Instead, his fellow druids convinced him to show mercy, and they placed the satyrs in an eternal slumber beneath the roots of Shaladrasil. This weakness turned out to be a big mistake, since the satyrs, they've now woken up and they are attacking Theon's grove. We assist him with taking out Xandrix the Dishonored. We also take out Kagrix, while Theon focuses on a darker presence that he can sense lurking in the area. Evil Night Whispers informs us that this darker presence is actually Xavius, and we quickly have to inform Theon before it's too late.
He put up quite a fight, but your Archdruid belongs to me now.
Theon has been taken by the nightmare, so we take him out and we meet up with Malfurion and the remaining Archdruids at the Grove of Cenarius. Now before we continue the storyline, let me first explain a little bit of the lore that's already been established that's going behind this storyline. Back during the War of the Ancients, over 10,000 years ago, Ysera and a Highborn were dabbling with magics beyond her understanding. Or their understanding even. Her advisor Xavius, Professor X and her advisor Xavius had made contact with the Titan Sargeras, and their queen decided it would be a very good idea to bring this Dark Lord into the world and purge the world. So, they worked on using the powers of the well to create a portal strong enough to summon Sargeras, and in the meantime they summoned beings like Archimonde, Manoroth, there was the Houndmaster Hakkar, all kinds of things, but the main goal was to bring Sargeras into the world. Now, of course, this did not go unnoticed. You know, people felt something was up. And one in particular, Malfurion Stormrage, student of Cenarius in Druidism at the time, was having nightmares about the palace. They used the Emerald Dream to discover what was going on, and they found out what exactly Xavius and Val'sharah were doing. So, in a confrontation between Malfurion and Xavius, Malfurion, if memory serves, and don't quote me on this, but if memory serves, used the powers of Azeroth itself to strike down Xavius with lightning. This was not the end of the advisor. Oh no. He died near the portal, where Sargeras was waiting and lurking. And he was like, yeah, hang on a minute, you're not done yet. I still require a summon. So instead of letting him die, he took Xavius' soul, ripped it to pieces, and then reformed him into the first of the Zeta, with the mission of bringing Sargeras into the world, as well as corrupting more of the Highborn into satyrs. The story went on, and of course Xavius had some beef with Malfurion now. You don't just shoot someone with lightning and kill them and not expect them to be pissed about it. So, Xavius decided it would be a fantastic... Okay, here's 1, 2, 3. Xavius decided it would be a marvelous idea to kidnap Tyrande Whisperwind. But oh boy, was that a bad idea, because Malfurion loved Tyrande, and you don't fuck around with the ones that he loves. In response, Xavius and Malfurion fought again, and Malfurion literally turned Xavius into a goddamn tree. Druidism is fucking awesome. So, in his tree form, the War of the Ancients played out. The Burning Legion eventually lost the war. The Well of Eternity imploded, causing the Sundering. The land of Azeroth split apart and formed it into day with the Maelstrom in the middle.
Illidan! The well is out of control!
Aye. It's been twisted and turned by too many spells. The fuss we, especially you, made with the portal was too much. The same spell that sent the Burning Legion back into their foul realm now works on the well. It's devouring itself and taking its surroundings with it. Fascinating, isn't it?
Not if we're caught up in it.
Now Xavius in his tree form could feel the land ripping apart. It did him, it was painful. And eventually, he made contact with the old gods, mainly the old god N'Zoth. Together with the old god N'Zoth, Xavius infiltrated the Emerald Dream, a realm created by the Titans as they shaped Azeroth. And you gotta imagine the Emerald Dream is like what the world would have been without mortal influences or outside influences, as in go to Elwyn Forest and, for example, the Titans created a majestic forest over there with no Stormwind Keep. In the world you see the Stormwind Keep, in the Emerald Dream you won't see the Stormwind Keep. That's like a very small version of the Emerald Dream. It's the realm of Ysera and the Green Dragonflight, very much connected to Druidism and demigods and scenarios and all that. Xavius got in there together with the old god N'Zoth and they started working on corrupting it. But even better, they captured Malfurion. And now Xavius, slowly but surely, turned Malfurion into a tree. The events of the novel Stormrage took place, where he was tormenting Malfurion. He was giving him nightmares, fake visions. He's like, haha, we're gonna destroy the world. Look, here's Tyrande. She's making out with Illidan. You jelly? You jelly, bro? You're angry, aren't you? At the end of the book, people like Fura, Tyrande, Bro Bearmantle, and a whole bunch of others. There was like this human cartograph or something guy. They were able to save the world. They were able to save Malfurion. Malfurion and Tyrande took care of Xavius, his tree form in the real world, where Fura took care of it in the Nightmare world. And together, they were able to take care of Xavius and, you know, kind of fix the situation. But the Nightmare's corruption ran deep, and they were unable to completely disconnect the Nightmare from the dream. They knew that one day they would have to take care of this. Now in Legion, we see that Xavius apparently wasn't taken care of. He has returned, the Nightmare spreading again, and even the Legion has joined their team. That's the history behind all of this. Now back at the Grove Cenarius, we make contact with Ysera, Lady of the Dreams, since the Emerald Dream is her Green Dragonflight's territory and will surely need her help. Malfurion is about to fill her in on the situation, but there is no need. Ysera has already seen what is going on, and she tells us to go to the Temple of Elune, make contact with Liena's Moonfall, and tell her to release the Tears of Elune into our custody. With the Tears of Elune, we might be able to save Cenarius from the corruption, as well as fulfill the mission that we were sent for in the first place. But the temple is under heavy attack by satyrs and demons. We're asked to clear the temple grounds, collect some samples of the roots of Shaladrasil so that we can work on a cure for the corruption, and as we try to claim the Tears of Elune, Xavius shows up.
Foolish mortal! The Tears of Elune are mine now. If Malfurion wants them back so badly, he can seek me out. I'll be waiting.
We have to return to the Grove with empty hands, and sadly, the next bit is not fully implemented yet. All we get is a placeholder message, which says that Cenarius is taken by the corruption, and Malfurion, enraged, he pursues Xavius, leaving the others behind. Not even someone as powerful as Malfurion could dream of taking on Xavius by himself. So together with Ysera, we follow Malfurion's trail, we take care of some of the corruption, and then we get hit by another placeholder. This one is called ICG Corruption of Ysera, and even even though we don't see what happens, it's not hard to guess what exactly happens. Instead of Ysera, we now team up with Tyrande Whisperwind, who receive visions of her beloved Malfurion, first enraged, then distressed, and now beyond her mind's reach. She tells the hero to quickly come with her in order to save Malfurion, but she's a lot more hateful when you play a Horde character. Some say that this fits her character, which is absolutely true. Tyrande doesn't have a love for the Horde, but I personally feel like it doesn't fit the situation. She's looking for help, right, to save Malfurion, but yet she says things like, if he succumbs to the horrors that have befallen this land, I shall hold you personally accountable. Now gather your wits and follow me. As she kneels down at the Moonwell to focus on a vision to find where Malfurion has been taken, she asks Alliance players to guard her while she's doing this, yet she tells Horde players to make themselves useful and stand guard. It got so bad that I personally felt like abandoning the quest right there and then, leave Tyrande to her fate. That's not how you respond to someone who's only there to help, as she made it seem like it was the Horde player's fault. But that's just my personal opinion about the dialogue. I'll leave it up to you to decide if you like it or not. That's a personal opinion. I wanted to put this in though, because this is the only difference that I could actually find between the Horde and Alliance questing experience, so it's only there in Tyrande's dialogue, at least for now. Now back to the lore. After kneeling down and trying to locate Malfurion, we continue our journey and we encounter Archdruid Elofair, who's also been taken by the corruption. Hanging on for dear life, he tries to communicate with the forest to find Malfurion, while we fulfill his final request by taking out Varfos, Keeper of the World Seed, who's also fallen to corruption. In his last sane moments, Elofair was able to locate Malfurion. Oddly enough, he was just down the road. So we continue our journey, we interrogate a satyr, we take down Umbraxis the Cruel, while Tyrande moves on ahead in hopes of saving her beloved. A beautiful cinematic takes place, in which you can clearly see what exactly happened to Ysera.
Tyrande Whisperwind, I have longed for this encounter for many years. Your adoring husband would be joining me in the nightmare. His was a special invitation. And our dear Ysera, would you believe she has had a change of heart? She will aid me in my conquest of Val'sharah, starting with your precious Temple of Elune. Such a dilemma, High Priestess. Kneel beside your beloved as he draws his final breath, or watch the temple of your goddess burn.
The Queen of the Dream has also been taken by the nightmare, and Xavius gives Tyrande a choice. She can either kneel down beside her beloved as he draws his final breath, or she can watch the temple of her goddess burn under Ysera's flames. There's no real choice for Tyrande here though. With tears in her eyes, she leaves Malfurion behind, since she has sworn herself to Elune to defend her temples and lands with all that she is. At the temple, we end Ysera's torment, and in response, Elune weeps over her death. This is once again a cutscene placeholder, so we're not sure what the game is going to show. It could be the very first time that we get to see Elune in some way, in some shape or form, or perhaps the camera is just gonna tilt up, day turns into night, and the tear drops down from the moon. Either way, whatever the cinematic's gonna bring, I can't wait to see it. We have fulfilled our mission of collecting the Tears of Elune, and we hand them over to Archmage Khadgar. One step closer to sealing the Tomb of Sargeras and stopping this Legion invasion, but it came at a great price. Ysera seems to be dead, however, it is possible that we'll see it again. Not all the bosses of the Emerald Nightmare raid are known at this point, and as we've seen with Cenarius in the past, he was taken out during Warcraft 3 by the orcs, but he wasn't permanently killed. Instead, his spirit was sent to the Emerald Dream, for which we brought him back during the Cataclysm, and there he helped us out in the Ragnaros fight. This is all pure speculation though, these are just ways that they could bring Ysera back. For now, all we know is that Ysera is dead. As with the other zones, the story leads into a dungeon. In this case, it's Darkheart Thicket at the roots of Shaladrasil, where we go in to save Malfurion, while also taking care of the corrupted beings inside. You have Mifana, there is Archdruid Glydalis, Oakheart, and Dresseron. Now the final boss of the dungeon is the Shade of Xavius, but even with defeating his Shade and liberating Malfurion, we aren't quite done yet. This was only the Shade of Xavius, the true power remains within the nightmare, but that story will be told once the Emerald Nightmare raid is available. Which means that for now, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching everyone. I really hope that you enjoyed the main story within Val'sharah. Now I personally really enjoyed the story told in this zone, especially the way that the zone itself reflects the story that is told. Everything's fine and dandy at the start, and as you move further through the storyline, deeper into the zone, it all becomes more and more corrupted. Druidism is very prominent here. It connects to the artifact questlines for the Druids, so I'm overall overall very happy with the zone, but I would love to hear what you think in the comments down below. Like I said at the start, tomorrow I'll upload a full playthrough of the zone, and coming Thursday, if everything goes according to plan, we'll talk about the story connected to Jared's Shadow Song, Mayev's Shadow Song, and Blackrook Hold. This is the second major storyline in the zone. It also connects to the dungeon. I didn't want to spoil it at the start, in case people don't want any spoilers. That's coming the rest of the week though. So for now, as always, subscribe if you like my videos, leave a like if you enjoyed this one, and until next time guys, see ya!